In this class, we discussed two topics. First is pricing and contracting, and the second topic is organizing for project management. So for the first topic, for pricing and contracting, so far in this class, we have learned different methods of estimating the project costs. And from the cost to price and then contracting, that is another step follow. So with that, how to price a constructed facility, basically in the book, classify four different way of pricing a constructed facility. So let's discuss that pricing. For facility, and when we say facility, it can be residential, can be commercial, can be institutional, can be heavy, all of that. So the first and the most dominant way to price is competitive bidding. Competitive bidding. And in competitive biddings, there are many other variants. One of the variant that also apply, we call that A plus B bidding. So by its name imply competitive, it means that when we have a project, we ask different bidder bid the project, and whatever the bidder has the most competitive, it will be selected. It can be selected based on the lowest bidder, but it can be combined between the technical components and the cost component, the price component. And then the other method can be used for pricing a constructed facility, that is negotiated contract. Negotiated contract. So when we know someone do very well for us, instead of call different bidders for the competitive bidding at the first wait, we can call one or few, go to negotiate. When both parties agree with the price, then we can sign the contract. It cannot be applied in private and can also be applied in public when you have emergency project, just like the hurricane come, it demolish some of the levee, etc. Then to wait for the competitive bidding, it will take a long time to prepare, etc. Then we can negotiate the contract with a certain specialty contractor to just prepare, fix the levee, fix the dam, etc. as soon as possible to avoid the extra consequence to the public, so that with that the public project can be able to use negotiated contract in that circumstance. And then we have the third one is speculative residential construction. And for this one, at its name implies speculative, and that apply for residential construction. So sometimes the developer develop and build residential houses or condo or apartment, and at the point that they build, we don't know who are the customer, who are the household that go into use, but we just build that, and then when the potential buyer come, we can negotiate, and then we whatever the market price at that time at the decision to sell, then that become a price for that constructed facility. And then the last one, a big organization or even institution like FGCU, they have Another way to price is the call it forced account construction. So big organization, they can have some maintenance work for their facility, etc. So they may have their own construction division to make the necessary repair, and that go through a force account. FGCU, we have some plumbing, as you can see, you use the household, sometimes have problem with the plumbing, electrical work in the restroom, etc. So to wait for independent outside contractor to fix it will take long. So they have some facility plan, may have in-house people that have that account when it's something happen, the fixing, fixture, plumbing work, small minor work, they can procure quickly and prepare by the FGCU employee, and that we use post account construction. So those are the way to pricing constructed facility. Now let me go to the A plus B bidding and see what is that about, and that go to the slide here. For A plus B bidding, for example, the A plus B. So what is the A component and B component? So let me go one B component and we go to define. Florida Department of Transportation define B components is the total number of calendar days required to complete the project, estimated by the bidder. And this portion consists of pre-established dollar value for each contract day, multiplied by the number of contract days quoted by each contractor. So as you can see, the B about the time you bid, and as you can see, the project, if you deliver earlier, it save a lot of money for every party involved, the owner, the end user. Like a bridge, if we can shorten the time so people utilize the bridge, they reduce the user cost. All of that can be components in select the bidder. So that where the A plus B bidding come from, and from that I can go ahead to define A plus B bidding in here. So A plus B bidding within the competitive bidding. So the basically this one is cost plus time bidding, cost plus time. So we consider the value of both price, the cost itself, and the time, potential saving for the time for those people that do faster, more efficient, then it will be more competitive in A plus B bidding. And what is A components? A component. Basically, that is the cost in traditional bid. Cost in traditional. And that's what you did in project one, that you are going to in project one, basically, to find out the amount, bid amount. And then the second component that we a little bit need to be elaborate, we need to be elaborated more, that is B components. So for B components, basically a bit of total number of the total of calendar day. So what does that mean? It will have days you bid, how many days you bid, and then what are the potential savings that FUT say pre-established number, so that is a daily value. that products become a B component. So with that, we have a total bid will be A plus B, and we will award to the lowest total. So from that, we can award to the lowest A of A plus B, not A, but the lowest, both A, B. It look maybe abstract. Just go to apply that in problem 1 and you see that that looks simple. Which contractor should be awarded for a bridge project if the road user cost is per day is 15,000? So the bid price for each contractor ABC in $1 million. So that basically, yes, we say that is the standard bid. So that one is the A component. And the bid time, the bid in this case, the in the project 1 that I asked you to do, we will limit the time, but it's not a component in selecting the bidder. It's only the bid price. We see the A components. Now with the A plus B bidding, the B components is the day time, the daily value. In this case, the road user cost is considered. It's very important. When we save 1 day for the bridge or for the road, people can utilize that. It save, shorten the time you go to school, for example, shorten the time for people commute to work. All of that will reduce the time and energy use for the end user, and that at the end for the whole society, it will in this case realize 15,000 per day. So with that, we can find out the time bid time that days, and then we can continue with determine the time bid and time bid, and that basically a B component, and that we can extend that further. And of course, the last one that we will have is the A plus B, the total A plus B, and that it will be in $1 million. And at its name, as you can see, B is day time daily value. So in this case, for A, for contractor A, we have 350 time daily values, which is 15,000 per day. So we will get that one is and that also $1 million. So this one is equal to 5.25. And similarly, we have 300 days for contractor B. Each day user cost potentially generate 15,000, so that it will be 4.5 millions in $1 million. And then we have 280 for contractor C, time 15,000 per day. We have $4.2 million. Add A components in the first column here, in the first row, and then the second component. So we have A plus B. Finally, A plus B in this case is 75 million, and this is B 64.5 million, and for C we have 60.2 million. So from that, if we use traditional competitive biddings, award to the lowest bidder, and you can see we only consider the bid price with the A components. Contractor A 5.5 million, B 60, contractor C 56. So it most likely you will select A, the lowest bidder, if we use only A components that traditionally we use. Now if A plus B bidding, we select the lowest A plus B. So as you can see in this case, we will select contractor C which is $60.2 million. So that what the law is. So from that we can say that we will award contractor C. The law is A plus B, not law A, not the law is A. If that, it will be contractor A, but in this case, we award contractor C. So those are the way that we price in the contract, and I elaborate more what is A plus B bidding when we could consider other components other than the cost in awarding the contract.